close out that part of the map.
It's worth noting, first time the Texture has ever played ISO in an official match.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring, but I'm glad we got that checked because this is a big departure from the Jet and the Raze.
I am very curious to see what GENG is cooking. Well, it helps when you're Texture and you can just, you know, tap people.
ISO versus the Chamber, but it's going to be a nice flash setting up Potter for big success. Simon once again proving his worth as that support agent. And that's going to clear out B Long. Still 3 members remaining for GENG, but EDG sitting comfy with 4. They just want to clear out the rest of the map. If it's A, we'll just go for the retake. We're holding on to Art, so we have multiple ways of entering onto the site. And that's the game plan right now for the Chinese squad. The world champions, we should note, of course, still the core members here.
Yeah, still 3v4 that GENG is going to have to deal with. Only a couple shock darts for this post plant, so that's going to send Yeoman deep, and there's already pings coming out from EDG. They're already reading this pretty nicely, so Yeoman's going to have to deal with some pressure.
Oh, he's getting up close. He doesn't want to get lost on the far side, but Simon just creeping up right down the main path. Not taking any sort of height advantage, throws Yeoman off, and now that is the signal for the retake. Potter double sliding in, just wants to make sure he clears out all the close angles. You want to check for any sort of spam, and Foxy9 shows himself from Flowers. He's actually still alive. Munchkin still not spotted. This is huge. A lot of deception there with the gate crash, baits him out, and Munchkin's peek out of the smoke is a little bit difficult. Not sure. Now EDG once again focused on the B side, but this time just with Headhunter and Sheriffs in hand. Chloe's gonna get passed by, but Texture hitting that swing out again against Chichu.
He's just built different. Oh, Karan as well. With that single tap of the Guardian. Takes down nobody, trying to lurk through mid. More players gonna try to go through this angle. It's a great slide, a great kill. Understanding the gun situation, however, Yeoman's turn.
Yeah, now there's so many members coming out against Potter, so he tries to slide in, not gonna get the kill. Yeah, sure, you get the run by, but can't really survive past that. Vandal, a nice answer to that Neon movement, and it's just a 4v1 toast. Just a classic. They're even spamming it out. He's taking so much damage crawling in. Maybe gets Foxy9, but he's not even going to check. Foxy9 will find him. So it's a nice, clean round. 4 members left alive for GENG.
On B, like stuff like that. That could be really, really powerful. Art as well on A. Like, there's so many angles actually that, you know, the defensive side might leave isolated that you can kind of identify and knock down. Potentially. So I can definitely see the value in running the ISO on this map. Still haven't seen much from like the contingency or, you know, that wall or the vulnerable, but, you know, Texture's just good enough. He can just get it done with his guns.
Yeah, so
and the double tap helps, of course. But.
Yeah, of course. But that's off of that first kill. So it's been pretty clear what the value is. I think having the confidence to go for the first shot. This time it's Munchkin, but they were ready for a triple swing, quadruple swing, in fact. I mean, this is all about aim goes down B long, and if it's going to be the ISO that gets the kill, you're able to just push forward, this time once again with the double tap, trying to continue that momentum. He uses it, gets the ultimate, ties up the Astro. If anything, you're still going to get the free kill from your teammates, and Texture will still get it for himself, refresh the shield. Meanwhile, GENG just cleaning house on the backup. And this is the type of pressure that ISO can put on, right? You trap one guy, even if he wins the duel, the rest of his teammates have to swarm around to try to protect him afterwards.
Yeah, it is a really good ultimate in a lot of different situations. And that's why you would see it a lot on Haven and maps like that. Like bigger maps, you can really allow yourself to either spread the map, go for that early pick, or in situations like you're talking about, like post plant, something like that, Karan's going to find the last player, nobody taken down. If you've already taken that site, then it doesn't matter. That player's dead anyway.
Yeah, but EDG, they stick true to their plan, and they say we want to push out very fast, either A main or B long. And this is what the meta eventually evolved into when Pearl was still in the map, which is erase one part of the map. But if you're getting erased off of it, it's not going to mean much. Map control given over to GENG. Chichu all alone, just a Headhunter in hand. Finds the Euro, but doesn't find the shot. Now he's cornered all the way into the back corner. Texture repositioning, gets the double tap refreshed, and another free round for GENG.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the value already with the double tap at the very least for these B executes, because it gives you that extra ability to absorb one of those long angle shots or the cubby, you know, peak or something like that. So, you know, in a part of the map where if you're not running a Viper, for example, and you don't have that big wall to cut off a lot of space as you try to make your execute with this gracious Texture, yeah, it's really nice to have that double.
To pressure that, EDG this time with rifles in hand once more. Not going to go for a Hail Mary. They want to make sure they keep these weapons in hand for as long as possible. A lot of attention to mid, but Texture just not losing a single first duel today. takes down Potter. It's a nice trade from Toast. But at the end of the day, Gen G still applying pressure, making sure EDG cannot push out any further than the middle of the map for the line of scrimmage. Dimensional Drift comes out for info.
Yeah, this is so difficult for EDG to deal with. They're able to at least get Karan down. Foxy9 has so much information on the space that's free. Yeah, Fragment's going to come through. Plant still, no, he had to pull off of it. Nobody actually going to find Munchkin as well on the backside.
It's you
Yeah,
and
they
me.
still have good control of Flowers. Meanwhile, a kill contract comes out. The Texture, if he can win this one, it should give them a little bit more breathing room. But Simon, good with the jiggle. And that's the cue for Toast to swing out and get a nice double. 3K for the round, and they get their first score on the board.
Yeah, now the aim is starting to come under the grasp of EDG. Simon there winning a art pressure. The pings are coming through. They're going to set up the star. So yeah, they're going to try to push mid. They're going to try to take some control, but Gen G's just kind of wrapping around to the other side. So it's a call to fall back.
Yeah, A main given for free, but very good control of mid. And refilling the site nice and early as well. Both the fade and the KO here. So they've got some abilities to make sure they deter any sort of explosive entry. And quite frankly, without the Neon, without anything like the Raze or even the Jet, Gen G not going to have the speediest of entries once they actually go for it. It's a lot more deception and setting up with things like the flashes and the first picks.
Absolutely, and they're doing a good job here pulling back, feeling a little bit too much contact, especially with that C's there. It just slowed things up way too much for them to really explode onto the site, probably the way they would have liked to. And they're going to just take their time, try to get this through. Haunt comes in, not going to reveal anybody on the side of Gen G. And they're going to try to reaggress. Both duelists here going to try to work together. So Foxy9 and Texture in tandem. Yo, man, oh my
boy.
God, this
It's
is so
three
dangerous.
members. Is he ready for it? He finds one, he finds two, he almost gets the third. They absolutely are not watching out for him in time, and he gets the clean headshot. Simon holding close, so is he ready for the double? He jumps in, but Texture's ready. They're holding the angle as a crossfire right in the smoke. Texture, nice swing adjustment as well for a second kill, and there is the From the Shadows. This was set up by Munchkin, cross-map, pushing both sites at the same time. As soon as one's clear, you go for the plan. Chichu, he's ahead of it. Munchkin not ready for it, but there's just too many angles to check as Gen G. Yeah.
You know, they're very happy to play these like double duelists or single duelists with a couple controllers, no traditional sentinel, and just out-rotate you, outwork the map, and that shows a lot of confidence in their coaching staff and in Munchkin and all that kind of stuff. They're able to put together. Yeoman does have that Hunter's Fury. Let's see if the overdrive is going to get popped here. It's a quick rotation from EDG. A little bit of noise being made by Texture, but he's backing out. So let's they're going to keep going forward. So it's going to be Texture and I think Karan trying to go for some lurks.
Yeah, just trying to apply some extra pressure. They didn't really use B-Link ever so far in this attacking half. It's mostly either been B long, just a little bit of scouting in mid, and then A main. So we'll see if this works out for them. We'll watch what the timing is. Nobody's still watching out for B-Link for the time being. Clone gets passed by. Drone is there to scout it out. Now Gen G already entering into B-Link. Nobody, he's already distracted, watching towards B main. And then, oh, the TP in, and Foxy9 gets a free kill. That's the signal for Karan to start pushing through. It's a double stack here in B-Link. Texture goes down, but Karan's still alive. Hunter's Fury to keep them tied up, and now it's the signal to rotate. We've drawn enough attention. They're heavy on B, and Karan wants to make sure that he holds on to mid, gets taken down. Information denied against Gen G.
Yeah, this is really good stuff from EDG. They've got gun upgrades all across the board as well. Still have that Fade ultimate into the post plant potentially. Munchkin trying to push his way forward, but already nobody's here. Oh, the smoke just in time.
But nobody's way ahead of it, and yeah, you're so distracted by the neon noise as well.
So Divides could see a little crisscross applesauce in there, but that's exactly what they're going to plan. They're trying to push out with this op, but
yeah,
Gen G seems somewhat aware.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a push out somewhere, at least with something from EDG. So Gen G's pretty well prepared for it, but there is the pop blast right past the clone. He just fires through it, gets the collat through the clone. And now that is full control. Spike down as well. So the operator now on watching the flank duty over on Art, right next to his trademark. It's still a two-man stack. Double tap fuse. Nobody just trying to get it off, and he does. He actually gets to scratch through the smoke. The shield is off, and now they just want to run the timer out. You love this awareness from EDG.
Yeah, they're playing really, really smart right now. And it's a great push again by Potter. Even though he dies for the cause, it's very worth. And you just can't aggress this angle. You could try, but you're gonna get off.
Spike down A.
The Astra down. Texture, no more double tap for the time being. See if he can use the contingency to some value. Swings out. Nice adjustment on the headshot. The swings have been pretty good from Texture so far today, but there's still 3 more members.
30 seconds left.
First up is Toast here, right next to B-Link. He hears the footsteps. He's letting his teammates know he wants to catch him from behind. And Texture get that. But he does look like he knows exactly what his job is, and he's very, very hungry for it. Still a couple more frags that he wants. There's the pop flash, but he realizes a bit too late on that. So he wants to reset. He's still good for 1. Kind of baits out some of the early shots, but there's a nice counter flash coming out. And Texture will get 2 to his name before he goes down. Now down to a 3v3. Paranoia to gain some control of B main once again for GENG.
Yeah, so the timeout call working really well, where they're able to challenge these angles, not give them up for free. You know, there's always a couple players pushing one end of the map or the other, try to challenge these GENG sort of space-taking maneuvers. And so far, now things trying to turn the way of EDG. Long-range shots, nobody takes a scrape of damage. Yeoman down to 85. Just gonna wait this one out a little bit and have that Cosmic Divide. Could potentially try to make a go of it. That Nightfall there could be a little tough because those tethers are...
You want to fight it!
Yeah, and so we are gonna see the Astra Ultimate come out, like you mentioned, just trying to sneak in. Just one plan. There's the fragment to buy time. Then there's the Nightfall as well to deny any sort of information. Do they go for a double peek out? Yeoman with a nice shock dart against Simon. I think he got scouted by the recon as well. So they're aware that he's low health, he's trapped. And that suddenly brings a massive advantage towards GENG. Nightfall already used as well, so now it's all up to Chichu. Needs to slice up these angles, find single shot after single shot. Just kill after kill. Drone getting taken down, not quite by nobody. Chichu needs to fish for these kills, but now they know his exact position. And GENG has no reason to peek until they hear the tap on the defuse. There's the one-way as well. EDG looking like they want to go for the save with the operator.
Yeah, there's just not much left they could do. They needed to find one of those early picks to break this open. And that Cosmic Divide, so well placed. Love, love, love that. For Karan, doing a great job with that ultimate. Munchkin on the Omen, we talked about that earlier. It's fine. I mean, I think there might be better options, though. That grab wall could have been so good. We just didn't have the comfort to push that corner.
It's you
Spot
and
through the
me.
wall. There's the ISO ult.
Wow, Chichu's gonna find a nice shot, but Texture does win his duel, so it's a trade across the different realms. Potter wants to flash out with the pop flash, but there's the double tap in action. Can't finish the kill. And Texture continuing to push through. Dimensional Drift just to buy time. Yeoman's gonna trade off of that one, and Sight now cleared open for GENG.
Yeah, just comboing their utility.
Spike planted.
Caterpillaring their way through there, just, you know, double tap into the ultimate. You know, the ultimate before that as well to take nobody out. So it's just a great staggering of abilities there, including the ults for the side of GENG. And now they look like they've kind of figured this out. They understand how and when to fight these battles. You know, this time they're pushed up a little bit further forward towards A main instead of like waiting way back by A lobby to take the fight. This time they take the fight to EDG, and they're able to come out ahead. Toast just nothing to do but chill. Just wait this one out.
Yeah, just has to save that over. The econ starting to fall behind quite a bit for EDG. And GENG sitting comfy on a decent stack across the...
Now GENG's, you know, figured it out. Again, Munchkin, one of those really strong IGLs with his ability to adapt on the fly, to call up different plays, to understand what his opponent's trying to accomplish and to find success against it. They're going to send that TP deep again, trying to get to the back of the site.
Yeah, I love that they're using the Astra util as well just to make sure the TP's a bit safer. Toast actually jumps down. I thought that was risky, but he's actually going to be able to hold on to not just the site, but also B-Hall all the way to the end. A 3K for the youngster here on EDG, being given an opportunity to get some experience, prove himself perhaps to a wider audience. And boy, that round proves it right there. Texture not able to enter the site, trying to find a long-range pick.
That's the butterfly effect. He gets that first kill. If he doesn't get that, it's probably GENG winning this round. Yeah, there's a double stack there. Not much he can do. Karan getting a parting gift, but with that spike down, he would have to make quite the play to do anything in this round. But yeah, the butterfly effect there, just get that one kill, and then all of a sudden the round completely changes because you're able to open up space for yourself to do some more. Okay, Karan.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, like, Karan, he knows that it's a fake smoke, and then he immediately jumps down to try to clear B halls, because that would be the one thing that's a thorn in your side, even with the Cosmic Divide.
Boy, overdrive popped, and already Past A main, trying to use that C's to set a Potter.
Oh, they're going in deep, but that's a good paranoia. And it's going to be traded with a Prowler. That's going to reset the fight just a bit. Fastlane to keep them at bay. That's the signal over for Chichu to peek out mid. He finds a little bit of sight of Foxy9, and he will back off. So everybody back to square one, but nobody holding a very forward position, trying to buy time on A main.
And this is going to be a good opportunity here for EDG if nobody can just kind of keep fighting for his life. Yeoman trying to reveal his presence, and he goes to switch out to the guns to make the jiggle peek and gets taken down.
Yeah, and that overall was a calculated risk here from EDG as well. Because they spotted so many people still contending with nobody on A main, they decide, okay, let's push out, make sure that we erase any other options. We know how GENG likes to play. We know what Munchkin likes to call. You know, it's been no secret now all throughout the year of 2024. It's a good read from EDG. Code contract looking to come out again, but it doesn't look like he's going to find
No distraction.
Oh, he catches nobody right at the end. Right on the edge. Can
seconds
nobody
left.
win the fight? Texture just weaving right next to the wall. And he'll be able to clear the site for his team.
That's the 4th kill contract of the half.
Spike planted.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Disgusting.
I think so.
He's had a just disgusting half.
Well, this time a 3-man flank. Still a decent option. You have the Cosmic Divide. The flank makes it a bit more awkward to use. You'll have to get some information first. Potter at the ready. No slide available, so he will just have to walk in once his teammates show themselves, but that's too much of an elbow. Texture gets one, gets traded immediately afterwards, but still not a way to enter onto the site. Charon is ready for the Neon, and the site's still under GenG's control. The Cosmic Divide not going to do too much. Everyone from GenG ahead of it, and it is going to be a 3-man finish
Too, so
for sure.
I really like this.
Oh, this is a setup. There's the undercut trying to push out of it, but the Neon's just ahead of it. So GenG, they're going to have to back off. I don't mind the idea, though. You know, maybe in the future we see the Paranoia paired with it if they want to go all in. But this time, Munchkin preferring to keep that one as a more of a delay tool rather than taking the initiative on A main.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe with this rotate, you know, is it going to be a fake one? Yeah, okay. I was wondering if maybe Foxy9 might have a little bit of pressure on himself. He has no util, just a Sheriff to hold down that long B angle, but it is going to be the re-clear, the attempt to retake this space over towards A. See if they can get towards the site. Chichu already so beaten up, gonna try to give his life for the cause. Still has the rendezvous in the back pocket to potentially set up. Put it down, I think he did.
Now Shock Dart comes in, almost gets the kill onto Chichu, and meanwhile the spam, this time it's counter spam from Potter. He'll pick up the first kill, so Yeoman not able to find one for his troubles. He'll have to give the site for the time being. Art being held by Texture, and this is gonna be an important one. He doesn't catch sight of Toast, so he wants to constantly push out. He wants to know, is there a flank or not? Can we go in for the retake or not? Toast not showing any signs of wanting to go all the way around. Meanwhile, joining the main forces on A main. See if the spam comes through accurately. Chichu good for one, just buying some time. Prowler keeps him at bay on Art, but Texture with 3! Swings out into the middle of the map, 1 tap each time, and that's a 3K, and he's still holding them at bay. Eventually gets taken down, half not done just yet. Foxy9 very weak. Charon has to get the kill for it first, but no! It's going to be... You see extra kills from Texture. But right now, it's EDG, of course, off of that win with the Outlaw Guardians using that long range.
Yeah, I like this. Try to pressure that B site. I mean, it's not going to be any secret when you've got the better guns. Oh, that's going to be a shot baited out by Charon, so okay.
Where are you?
Maybe a world.
Oh, they're holding close. They're already through. Foxy9 enters the fast lane right after the Neon. He's good for 2. EDG not ready for it. The comms are breaking down, and the attack has been stopped. Absolute flood defense from GenG.
That's 2 gun upgrades as well. A Guardian and a Spectre are going to be picked up off the back of that. And all of a sudden, EDG has just crumbled. You get that pistol round win. You feel like you might be able to get this map back under your control. Spike on the ground. What do you do? What a phenomenal TP there from Foxy9. Just such great understanding of the timing. And like you said, EDG just never really able to calm where and when it happened.
I mean, you were holding at long range trying to defend, but with the fast lane and the enemy smokes as well, your vision so obstructed, and you really just needed Potter to be able to stay alive, but with his second line of attack being taken out by Foxy9, he was almost stranded on an island. Tough one. Chichu did not like the look of that clone. You know, you don't want to take any risks. Yeah, just shoots in the back of the dome in case it swings around.
It did have that minor update where it doesn't look as cloney.
Yeah, and more utilities are hitting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just never want to take that chance.
No, absolutely not.
You don't want to be the one guy that enters the highlight as the guy who never quite cleared the potential clone.
Yeah, the guy who. Okay, well,
all right.
That was going to be another kill both ways, but yeah, I still haven't seen it. Still hoping to see it where you're the Yoru.
Yeah,
and you fake that you're faking the clone. And you just run straight with your.
It happens every now and then in challenges, but even then, like, all the players are like, "Yeah, is it really worth it?"
Yeah. I think you can work on Ascent because you don't want to clear that clone a lot on like A side on Ascent. Because there's no reason to. Like, it's just gonna run straight to a box and it's not gonna matter.
Right.
So you could maybe get away with it there, but on this map, no, you gotta clear that clone. Like, there's just too much space.
Well, so far, EDG getting shut down against the Thrifty. That's a lot of econ swung back to GENG now with a 9-5 lead. And they are looking comfy with the upgrades. Got the Outlaw, Foxy9 gets that kill. Meanwhile, Chichu tasked with just pushing and pulling on the A side. So EDG pulling a little bit of a 1-4 themselves. Foxy9's not going to mind too much that he's been spotted the range so in advantage. And he's a Euro, so he just TP's out. It's actually almost worse. Like, EDG's not sure if he's still there or not.
That is so difficult to deal with on this map. I can really see why T1 and GENG have leaned into this duelist. Oh my god, Foxy9!
Foxy with the double tap on the Outlaw. Reigning supreme over here on B long, and that's the signal for Texture to now move forward. A little bit too greedy, but Foxy9 says it's all part of the big picture. Let me go for the finish here. There's the clone. Simon, does he take the risk? There's the flash. Foxy, almost good for it, barely misses. A little bit too shaky, a little bit too quick, but everybody's setting up for it. Paranoid's coming in. He's going to switch to the Vandal. They want to set this up for Foxy9, but Munchkin is put in, and the fact that, again, he's also happy to off and things like that. You still have that second option, just like you did with Meteor, and it seems like he is slotting right in for GENG. EDG this time, upping the tempo. They already found where the operator is, so they will just choose to back out for the time being, but there's a TP right off of it as well. So Foxy9 also putting the pressure on, and Yeoman just steps out into mid, plants Texture all the way up top, and he'll get a free kill for himself.
What a crazy push out that GENG's able to get away with. I mean, so much information for Foxy9, seeing a bunch of players there, able to make a good read off of that, and now this is going to be, frankly, pretty challenging for EDG, it looks like.
Yeah, no reactions to the flash, but there's the Prowler. He's still peeking out. Foxy9 a little bit stuck in the bunker. Eventually goes down to Potter, but Yeoman's still sharp with the Guardian. So is Munchkin. And now Spike down. They don't have it in their hand. They can't go for the plant. They have to step back out in the open.
And that means Texture is just going to take this opportunity to wrap flank through main and have a really good chance at maybe even grabbing the player.
Exactly. That's
while they're trying
thinking.
to plant.
Yeah, with the kill contract, it's absolutely the way to win the round, and EDG trying to maybe call that out. And he is going to send it out, and EDG says, okay, good thing we didn't stick it, but 30 seconds left. You just know that they're slowly tightening the chokehold. EDG needs to find a way to peek out and get the first pick. Chichu's picked up the operator. That's one option, but there is Munchkin from the side. Too many angles for EDG to cover. Nobody, he's busy. He's trying to go for the double. Can't finish off Charon, and GENG will continue with the lead.
Yeah, again, it's GENG just being so confident right now in their reads and in their space and in their shots. I mean, it helps when you have Yeoman and Munchkin winning with Guardians.
Like, I don't think you understand. Guardians and Sheriffs, yeah.
Yeah, if you can't ace with this Guardian, we kick you.
Yeah, you got a dual Munchkin, and you're like, oh, geez, here we go.
No way.
Well, Potter trying to get ahead of things with the Sheriff. You have a stinger on nobody as well. No, man, if you're able to get an upgrade or two, that would be a good sign for EDG. And yes, they took over Art, but they're trapped right now. I mean, GENG, they went ahead, sent Munchkin behind the box over on A main. So you have A main control. Yeoman's still sitting here. She's just waiting on the side. Can't quite escape the relay bolt, but they haven't spotted him. Nobody. Nice swing with a stinger. Oh, Munchkin. Oh, Chichu. Okay, well now, EDG, the round is looking like we thought it might. You get a couple upgrades. You've got the spike planting. You've got a couple ultimates as well.
It's just that little bit of early space that EDG takes that kind of throws everything off balance for GENG. They can't get a good read on this. It's going to have to be a clear. Texture's position going to be revealed. Can't even get a kill before he's taken down. Yeah, Karan. Okay, Karan.
Okay, he's already opened things up, and Foxy9's here, but Karan goes down before Foxy9 can get the peek, so he will just gate crash out. I love that he has that safety vial still at the end of the round. just going to be able to save the op. But I want to note right there, you know, as we saw Texture swinging out after the haunt, Potter, great timing. He seems to be really catching on to the comms and the setups from nobody here, being able to sync up some of those peaks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's really important. If you're good, and again, there was just not much information that GENG had on what the heck was going on in the map, and they were all over the place.
Yeah, that's a very aggressive position there, but Foxy9 will get out for free. No damage taken either. And of course, with that gate crash, you can just keep them at bay. So this denies some of that mid control from EDG nice and early. I think they didn't like what they saw in that previous round. We gave too much free space. Just trying to keep everything at the halfway point across the map. Foxy9 back out front, but he's going to get tagged. He doesn't have any way out. He has to run away. Will eventually get traded by nobody.
It's a great 0 point. Man, Simon's utility is so freaking good. He is just absolutely on point with the flashes, with the 0 points. Just a tremendous player. Toast as well, going to get one. Karen trades out nobody. Munchkin finds Chichu out over at A main. Way on the other side of the map.
Yeah, that breaks any other extra options, right? So now you know exactly where the EDG members are, given the frags. Karon kind of ready for it, but he wants to set up, so Texture's going to be on duty to watch B-Link. Karon this time watching the smoke. 0 point gets taken out, so they're not quite sure if it's 2 or 1 members here. Texture never quite getting rammed, so Karon able to 180 against Toast. And now it's going to be Simon all alone, already stuck in a 1v2, soon to be a 1v3. There's the paranoia, and Texture up top.
The other team's like T1.
Yeah.
He's like this wild fraggers player. He's actually a brilliant IGL as well.
I mean, he proved himself. Listen, I was one of the doubters, right? I just thought, he's a pretty good player, but as an IGL, I'm not sure. Proved himself in 2024, but they're not quite checking for that. I guess they've never really fought Munchkin here. They've spotted him a couple of times, but that Omen really coming into play, the Shrouded Step rather, really working out in favor behind that box.
I thought for a second he might TP up on top of that box and go for something. But
yeah, okay.
He
could.
I was like, well, it's Munch. You know, we're just talking about it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, maybe he's gonna go big or go home here. But no. That's the right play to just piece out of there. And Chamber with the 2 to 4s.
You see the star.
I
You know they're set up with a trap play. There's the double peek. Chichu can't get the first shot either. Yeoman now closing the gap just a bit. It's just going to be a bait and switch. Yeoman still around. There's the recon. They decide we're going to back out. Texture already being forced far away. Go for a repeat all on his own, and Chichu's ready for it. Too many members in Art. Seems to be the way to counter GENG on this map. EDG slowly but surely will clear the map. A bit of extra scratch damage onto Simon, but not much to really damage the actual spike.
But here's the thing, you can wait a little bit here as GENG. Talk about this. You have a Cosmic Divide of your own. You have a Dimensional Drift. You can counter this and set up your own retake. You can use this drone to get a little bit of information. You're going to use that Dimensional Drift. Let's see if they're going to invest the Cosmic Divide as well. There we go. I love this from GENG.
Yeah, they've spotted them all, so Yeoman's just able to get the sprays. Foxy9 pops out as Yeoman is the distraction, but never mind. He's actually the tip of the spear as he gets a triple kill on the retake.
Just brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah, well,
let him know, Yeoman.
Yeah, let him know how you really feel.
Yeah, that's right, Foxy. You don't get that defuse. You don't get that. I don't know what comes out of that.
The extra ACS.
Yeah,
for the objectives.
yeah, that's right, that's right. You don't get that ACS. And goes to Karon, and it's okay. It's all in good fun, and that was pretty good from GENG. And I mean, you've got to just, again, just be so impressed with Texture, showing us yet another duelist that he is world class on.
I mean, it almost feels like he's doing everything in his power to not play Neon. You know what I mean? Like at this point, surely you're good at Neon, but he's just like, well, I can also play the ISO, and I'm like, I guess that works.
Sure, why not, right?
Yeah. pretty good showing on his ISO debut here in an official match, leading the board way ahead in the first half for sure, but still finishing strong. And overall, a lot of those against GENG today.
This is going to be EDG on the attacker side this time. 4-man stack over onto B. Just going to leave the alarm bot and the old 3-man stack because Toast is over there too. He's hidden. They're going to try to make a pretty fast hit.
Yeah, wanted to rush through it, but the smoke comes out in time. They've all been spotted. Util not available for use, so we'll back out for the time being. A decent scratch against Simon and Potter, both of them being brought down right near the 50 mark line for the HP. But it's going to be an early re-hit onto A short. So spreading out the map but not being too passive, that's good for EDG. Already taking control of tree. So they have a way to enter in. Toast winning that fight is huge. Chichu going all the way deep, just gets the info. They actually force Texture onto the site. He can't find the kill. He's stranded, and EDG will be able to take over the A site.
Yeah, they're looking really clean here. Chichu even catching Munchkin trying to come in. Karan just left blindsided. All to Yo-Man. Nothing he can do. Chichu finds 3 in the round. So last time that GENG read them really, really well on Pearl, but Ascent has been a very different story for EDG. They're seemingly much more comfortable on this map with their new players, which they only had a couple days to practice together. That is what the other players were saying on their streams, that they only had 2 or 3 days to really try to work with this tandem that came in to fill in for Smoggy and Kong Kong. And so this map, obviously one of the oldest maps in Valorant, so everybody kind of knows it. They kind of understands what your roles are, what your jobs are, especially with both teams just picking the meta comps. And so far, EDG has been able to really showcase that they have a lot of potential, even with a slightly different roster than normal.
And there's the pop flash coming in for the entry. Nice paranoia to follow up as well. Pushes him away from the alley entirely. Potter holding on, and the spam through the smoke is good. Nobody there to support as well, so they're not leaving Potter out in the open for too long. Nice fragment. I mean, this is just step by step. Always going to be a multi-angle fight every time, and that makes the entry all so much easier for EDG as they look to finish things off in a flawless.
Fearsome. Bit of exchange of utility there. Munchkin gets ping.
Yeah, pushes him off just a bit, and now that's full main control. Again, early tree control as well, but Potter this time all alone, not quite aware that Munchkin might be hugging the wall, so that will slow things down. Texture is ready for another peek. Chichu suspects it, but Texture is quicker on the trigger, has a better angle on that swing out.
Now you got a bunch of players that are just going to try to brute force their way through A potentially. Be able to kind of spam and hold the line. Yeah, Munchkin already claiming 1 life.
One enemy
but now the remaining weapons not good for these long-range battles either. So while EDG would have loved to at least do some damage, especially because it was 3 members on half armor here for GENG, so you had an opportunity to really make it sting. But at the end of the day, Simon's just going to have to wait to see if GENG pushes out. If not, I'm sure he'll peek out in the last 10 seconds or so. Make sure that he at least goes down and gets some extra creds as he wants to upgrade his weapon in the future. Let's see if GENG kind of just lets him be even towards the end. I presume they'll just hold the angle all the way to the bitter end of the round, and EDG surely
30 seconds
kind of
left.
reconsidering options. Texture will be the one to pick up the kill.
Yeah. So, okay, mission accomplished. You're able to resign instead of him and Toast who are on the other side of the map, so trying to maybe see if they can collapse on the mid, if there's any push out. No operator yet to speak of.
Oh, barrel shown, and Potter, he's able to try to readjust with a jiggle, but it's still Texture who comes out with the frag. Only 5 HP left, though, so Texture more so just going to be a scout at this point onward for this round. Holding far back on mid. Alarm bot cleared nice and early. EDG wants to put the pressure on. They know the Jet has to be weak, so you want to pressure that a bit further. Nobody has been tagged. There's the Odin. Now you know where it is. It's holding close here on the B site. It's a lot of pressure on Chichu to try to get control of B main if they want to do anything. But Simon opens things up. GENG now a little bit lost and confused on the intel. He's even going to get a tag onto Karon, so keeps him tied up. Makes sure that he's blinded with information, but Karon with a fast re-clear as soon as the suppression dies out. And that's the call for GENG to remain here on the B site.
It's a great move by Yo-Man, sensing the pressure. Not going to get touched by that alarm bot.
Oh, Chichu's so weak. He feels the pressure from behind as well, and he has no option than to peek out. Yo-Man with another kill. Simon gets one with the fragment, but he's staying alive. They do eventually have to plant the spike.
Yeah, that was a great paranoia there. Keeping
Spike
Yo-Man
planted.
alive for this 2v2. Still got a couple shock darts to play around with as well. Simon, I guess, could pop the null command, but I don't really see a reason to. Not when you're just shooting him in the head.
And now just a close 0 point. They know he's already entered onto the site itself. So Karon position for field. He springs out for a nice kill onto Simon, trying to find the last target, but there's too many angles to
protocols.
Yeah, we'll see if they can regain a little bit of control with the operator now. Try to be a bit more calm, have a bit more of that system back in place that they were so well known for throughout the 2024 season. Texture holding a closer angle. He's actually going to drop down. He wants to reposition. Maybe hold close, maybe start to peek out of tree as they don't see any more information. You do have the Nano Swarm to help delay on main, so GENG feels comfortable leaving Karon on his own for the time being.
Yeah, and you've got a couple players over towards B. It's just Chichu, though, for EDG, as he's trying to maybe out-duel Foxy9, but Foxy playing ahead of the turret, actually. That's dangerous, but he's able to win it.
Yeah, it looked a little risky, especially because GENG was setting up for a recon play, it looked like, from Yeoman. So Foxy9, there was a chance that he wasn't ready for it, but he'll win out, even if it's only with 45 HP remaining. That empties out the B site for another 10-20 seconds if a rotation comes through, and GENG happy to hold their ground here on the A site. Texture, operator in hand. Here comes the res from a little bit further away, but Karon's still going to stop the force out there in main, and Texture and Munchkin chaining together an extra kill. Karon very quick with it.
God, that was outrageous. He's so good sometimes. No, not sometimes, all the time.
He's like so good all the time, and then he's like great other times.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Oh, no.
Oh, Munchkin holding close. This time with the Phantom, it's not even a judge. And EDG, they kind of suspect a bit of a play, but because they're the ones with the weaker weapons, they expect GENG will be holding at the entrance of A main. Not close. Woo. Okay, 2 HP. Well, it's more than one. Double, in fact. See if that's going to be enough to keep him alive a bit longer here in the round.
You know, Texture was looking to see if he could catch him trying to pass out the other side. Guardian at range there for nobody. There's the shot for Texture. There's the finish for Karon.
Right here for the attacking half. Just even one more would put them at a decent position at the half, and maybe even set up for more.
You do have a Hunter's Fury now for EDG. So let's see if they can maybe find a pick or a spot to use it. But aggressive push-outs from GENG again towards A main.
Yeah, Texture's been getting very aggressive and very active with the operator. He's usually pretty good about, you know, taking a shot and rotating, but today he's just going out on his own sometimes, going for these peaks.
Yeah, a lot of confidence today flowing for Texture. I mean, you'd have to be after the way he played on Pearl. And they're confident to leave him alone. I mean, that's another thing for GENG is you have the trust in your players to let them make those individual plays, whether it be him or Munchkin or Foxy9, whoever. You know that they're good enough to get the job done in those 1v1s, or if it's more than that, to at least make the right decision to make the situation as favorable as possible in your favor. Munchkin, though, so out ahead of this in mid.
Yeah, so much information gained from GENG, right? A main cleared, mid cleared, now the turret goes off. You know it's B. Odin at the ready, trying to scratch them off. There are the nano swarms being popped off, maybe a bit early, but you still have a fragment from Munchkin as well. So much delay. There's 0 point. Null Command also there. 0 point just for info, trying to get the tags. The spike has already started on the rotate, but you see the Jet and the Killjoy, so GENG's not going to make a move just yet. They're actually going to go for a pinch Paranoia onto Munchkin, but it clears before they go for the swing. He's ready for it. Just needs to play for time. Only 10 seconds left on the clock, and the EDG enters the grinder, and all get melted.
And the bank account is getting deeper and deeper. A few ults in the bag as well. Yeoman has his Hunter's Fury. It's a weaker buy for the side of EDG. Yes, they have a lot of ults. Are they going to be able to use it? They're going to go for the Hunter's Fury there.
That's trying to get some early clearance, trading back and forth from both sides. But at the end of the day, well, I was going to say it's going to be, of course, GENG kind of smiling if they just trade the ults since they have the better weapons. But it's going to be Chichu who gets a free upgrade onto the Phantom, but he's low, and Texture gets the call on that one. Shorty comes in, Foxy9 trying to hold strong. Enough time for Karon to reposition down here under in Hell. Conquering the A site, defending it from all of the good that's trying to come in from EDG, and Texture peeks out for the 3K.
And the Hunter's Fury was used as well for Yeoman there to try to set up Munchkin. Didn't work out, but in the long run, around it.
You should run.
Totally fine. Gonna use that lockdown. No counter available. Karon's gonna have to come in the corner to avoid the detain.
Does have the Frozen Shadows as well if you wanted to reposition or maybe beat them out, but for now it's just a Paranoid to buy time. There's a good ping, and he's good for it with the headshot right through the smoke. Also catches in Potter, who was already in the site, and that just leads to a
travel, as that's 5 in a row for the black and gold. It's a good dart.
Perfectly lined up. Texture not wanting to show his position in any way, shape, or form. He's got the tailwind, so he's going for another aggressive peek. He gets one, but he can't quite make it in, but there's cover. There's always somebody next to Texture, allows him to stay on site with another one. Toast baiting out the second shot. Sets up nobody, and he's good for it. So eventually, they take down the operator, but at what cost? Giving so much information and not gaining much away from it.
Yeah, it's tricky now. That operator out in the open, but could eventually get some done. See one player out there, so that's going to open up the door for some shock darts, and now you have to try to get through an Odin. Oh, he just sprays him through the wall. Yeoman just knows. G2, hello?
Oh, Yeoman trying to spray down for another. He's just holding on. He knows he's weak. He spots him, and he gets him through the blind.
Foxy9, who knows, maybe he's going to be able to do some lurking, and Munchkin always so fearsome in that short A area. Tough no matter how you slice it. EDG get a good shock dart, clearing the alarm bot. Another good push up through market. This time pretty aggressive with taking this space. Oh my god.
So clean. Doesn't miss a beat. He's just so quick on that reaction. Just barely sees the elbow and makes sure that he's lined up for it. Gets the headshot through the wall to finish off the kill.
And now that drone came through, and now you gotta worry as EDG. Is like, is that Odin just sitting in market again? Like, that's such a good, nice little change of position for Yeoman to use that piece of utility.
And look at that reposition from Foxy9 as well. From your crossfire up in mid, you still get to activate your turret. Meanwhile, Texture, he's pushing out far. He gets information, forces their hand up in mid. That allows Yeoman to be ready. Here comes the null command. And so it's going to be Texture watching from far. He actually gets the KO before the entry happens. And that's going to mask Yeoman's position even further. Holding close with the Odin, saw the head, but nobody's quick with the headshot. Texture now caught in the sight, but Foxy9's here for backup. He's good for the 4K. Gets all three as they enter in from market. Now hunting for the ace.
Don't die. Don't die to the nano.
Yeah, definitely don't die to the nano. That would be anticlimactic for sure. I don't think he's going to get it. Chichu's not going to give him the opportunity. But what an impressive backup play here from Foxy9.
I mean, that normally shouldn't work, but he just found just enough of a timing, and the shots were clean enough.
Well, hello. And Chichu, what a round from Foxy9.
Scanning ahead.
Now, continuing on, he's got that lockdown with that many kills in the previous round. Not a surprise there. Chichu constantly getting taken down low by that Odin. He's not going to be happy about that one.
Dude, Yeoman really is doing a great job causing so much pain for EDG with his util, following up with the Odin in whatever fashion he needs to. He has been so oppressive on that B site.
Oh, the outlaw for Munchkin as well. A bit of an econ play to really put the nail in the coffin against EDG. Keeps GENG so rich for the remaining rounds if they are able to succeed here without dropping too many weapons. Drone now forcing them out a little bit, getting some extra information. Gonna spot the jet right at the last second. The drone turned around. So you know, okay, there's still a bit of a setup here in mid. Gives the call to Texture to reposition at a wider angle. Oh, he's good for one. He fires off the second shot, almost gets another, but will back out, buys time with the fragment. The spike was dropped, so you know at the very least for the next 20 seconds or so, it's not going to be a B hit. If it is, it's going to be a Hail Mary sprint all the way at the end. You got to pick up the spike there. Potter, he will eventually go back and retrieve it. 25 seconds left. And Tree immediately re-cleared by Munchkin. GENG knows absolutely that this is the entry onto B. Fragment comes in, but Texture just waits for the extra frag. Peeks out for another. He's going for a third. Smoke comes out. That'll stop him. He eventually goes down, and Potter and Toast, the two youngsters, they're trying to clear it, but the lockdown, you just can't get past that. There's no time. The round is done. You have to take everybody out, and Toast is trying his darndest, but you just cannot win as Karon is so far away. Foxy9 even gets...
He's not looking so good right now for EDG, and onto the attacker side, and GENG setting up with a bit of a three-man mid-push. Potter senses danger, decides to get back out of there. That's a great flash, though.
Oh, well timed. And we see very small variations of that play so much, but this was a clean one. Nobody's still going to stay alive for the time being. He actually peeks out for a second, maybe. Okay, that was a little messy on both sides, but Foxy9 will come out on top. And that's exactly what GENG needed to be able to enter the site. Meanwhile, Munchkin, he's still fishing for a lurk. He thinks the rotates might have been late, but EDG's all here. Munchkin's not going to be part of the fight if EDG comes through. Foxy9, though, buying time. Yeoman as well. They haven't planted it just yet, and now they will wait until Munchkin comes. I love the patience coming in. Toast, the Inkling comes in a little bit too...
Around. A big execute from the side of GENG. Kind of spam through the wall, go fishing for any players that might be holding a tight angle with a shotgun or something.
Yeah, good entry, checking those close angles as well. You know that the site is clear, just spam through the smoke, not taking any chances. Door already closed, and EDG, they are absolutely out of options. I mean, now he's going to jump in blind into the crossfires, into the sight lines, and that looks like it's going to be a flawless for GENG.
Not take a fight, you know, take space instead. Make sure you get the plant down. all those little
Placing
things
swarm
so important. Nano to try to clear the turret, I suspect.
Yeah, it should be landing, but the turret's
it
way
missed.
out in front. Yeah, I mean, this is for... Actually, even if it was up against wall, yeah, I think it would have missed either way, but this time a lot forward of a turret. Some adjustments, given the meta changes and what lineups people are coming up with. Right now, GENG holding up very close, but seeing, trying to make EDG get antsy, right, on their buy round. Because if you win here, not only are you up onto match point, but the weaponry starts to get a little iffy. Even if EDG tries to go for a comeback. Potter getting that distance, but he's just too weak. Karon with the swing, Texture with the pinch, gets over, gets the information with the one shot coming out from Toast. So now it's a crossfire here in Tree. They're just keeping them tied up, waiting for the main force to enter through a main. And Sight give it over to GENG.
Just the coordination with these players is so darn good, and now Texture's gotten up into heaven, but they're already spamming it.
Ooh.
I don't know if they heard it or just know that that's what Texture likes to do. Yeah, they're going to take him down.
Yeah, he tried to weave as much as possible, but not quite Neo in this round. As Yeoman waits with the Ares. If they start to flood in, they will just get massacred. The dart doesn't quite get cleared, so Yeoman has to reposition, drawing out a lot of time and fire. It's a 4v2 in favor of GENG. EDG just don't have enough bodies to throw out the problem.
Round, try to get this over the line. Oh my God.
Yeah, GENG's just shoving in, but Potter, quick turnaround after he escapes the initial fight. Will shut down the impact here from GENG. So GENG trying to really throw EDG off, and GENG does this, right? This is just classic GENG when they're up either, 1 point away or at map point. They'll just suddenly go fast, and they'll go for a Hail Mary and see what happens. If not, you've at least shaken them up and made them consider all these other options in the coming rounds.
Exactly. And again, it's what makes them so tricky to deal with is they are so diverse in the way that they play the game, in the way that they call rounds. And it's never two of the same rounds in a row, especially on attacker sides. Like, they are always giving you very, very different looks. It's different players in different positions, able to spread the map. Yeoman, though, this is a really tricky spot.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good angle being held by EDG. Nobody's ready for the anti-flash, and Chichu's there for the scout. They're calling for it, but there's the flash. Chichu gets the trade, but not able to save nobody. So that opens up market. That allows the spike to be delivered onto the site. Meanwhile, Karon still waiting on a site, only gets one. Potter cleans up the site, and now the rotations come through for EDG. But Chichu, too far ahead, gets picked off, makes it an even 2v2.
Foxy's just so dialed in. What do you do now? He sets up a nano for the alley push so they can hold the stairs.
Yeah, and the alarm bot on stairs as well, so you don't really need to be peeking it. This is going to be tough. The nanos, just to keep them at bay, and then the 0 point to scout out. You know they're both close now. The alarm bot gets triggered. Munchkin only spots one. They don't know that Potter's here just yet. Potter in a 1v1 against the IGL of GENG. Taps and swings immediately, and Munchkin lands the shot. 13-3, a one-sided affair for GENG as they bring home the victory.
Yeah, really clean stuff from the Korean team this weekend. Really solid at times. GENG just cruise control after a few rocky rounds to start Ascent. The rest of the way through, it was all GENG. And they, oh man, 4-0 for Korea, right?
Yeah.
Goodness.
I mean, listen, obviously not the exact matchups a lot of us were hoping for with the full rosters, right? Kai unable to attend this event. Kong Kong and Smoggy taking a break on the